calling the meeting to order by President Yahim at 6 p.m. Roll call members, Mr. Obeid,
Present.
Ms. Hall,
Present.
Ms. Watson,
Present.
Mr. Ferris,
Present.
Mr. Yahim,
Present.
Ms. Wolinek, absent. All right, we got quorum. Acceptance of agenda, resolution number 1. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Wade, second. Second by Ms. Watson. Resolved that the Board of Education accepts and approves the agenda with any additions or deletions. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, 6 ayes, 1 absent, motion carries. Resolution number 2, go into closed session. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Motion by
I'll
Ms.
second.
Hall, second, I heard Mr. Obeid, I'm sorry.
That was Victor.
Or Victor. Okay, Mr. Ferris. Resolved that the Board of Education does hereby go into closed session for the following purposes. Section 8C, collective bargaining strategy and negotiations. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, 6 ayes, 1 absent. We're going to closed session at 6:02. Thank you. All right, going back to open session, can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Obey, second by Ms. Hall, sorry.
Watson.
Very first. Resolved that the Board of Education does hereby resume the meeting in open session. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, 6 ayes, 1 absent at 6:54 PM. All right, board calendar updates. Is everyone okay for the August 13, September 10, October 8
October 8th.
for the next meeting, 3 meetings?
October 8th.
All right,
I'd like to change it.
October 8. Let's go the following week of that for October 15th. Is everyone okay with that? It's still a Wednesday.
I'm okay.
Okay? All right, good. So we'll change that to October 15th. I think it's actually a good one for Joanne as well, correct? Perfect. All right, we'll go for reports to the board. I think we got the VLI program presentation.
All right, can you hear me?
Is it red?
Push that.
There you go.
we go. Now
That's
can you hear
good,
me?
yes.
What if I lean back instead?
You're good.
Well, you have to say something when you leave.
All right, sorry. I'm just waking up a little bit here. All right, so my name is Patrick Cashin. I'm the VLI specialist. So I figured since it's in the summer, I'd let everybody know kind of how the virtual program went here. All right, so just for a
scale program to help those students to, when he was speaking to, that had a difficult time with the directions and the content and rigor of Pearson. We're going to pilot about 10 students with a new program to kind of meet their needs and see how that goes this semester, just a small little cohort, and track their data to see if there's a different program that could help the students who are struggling a little bit more with those things that he mentioned. And I also want to give Patrick a shout out. I don't think that we would have been able to see the trends and improvement in the program if it wasn't for Patrick, who came on about 15 months ago. So I'd like to thank him and thank the board for allowing us to continue to put this program forward. I know it had been in question for some time, but it is proof in the data that the program has been pretty successful for our small group of students who need it.
And then I also have the where I got on my map for the land. It's a whole bunch of data. It's almost too much, but it's there.
That'll be, it's in your drive, so if
Yeah.
you ever want to take a look at it, compare the state data.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, appreciate it. All right, next up, construction project update.
We have Joe Lucci here today from Frank Rewalt. He's going to go over the projects and so just ask questions as they come up.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, good afternoon, everybody. Joe Lucci, project manager, Frank Rewalt & Sons. We manage your district construction. Just bringing you guys some kind of middle of the road summer progress updates. We're just over halfway, so we made a lot of great progress. Just want to give you guys an update. We kind of got this in order close to some of the projects that the board awarded first to most recent. So we'll start with the Dickinson East window replacement project. So this was a project we started last summer, replacing all the windows at Dickinson East Elementary in preparation for the HVAC mechanical unit install that we're currently doing. Right now we've got roughly 10 casement windows on the lower level, 4 framed louvers, and some miscellaneous punch lists. Unfortunately, this past Monday, the glass contractor reported to us that they are closing their doors at the end of the month. Yes, so we got some challenges to work through. We're about 2 weeks away from being 100% complete with the project. We currently have another window glass contractor on the job site that's working for the HVAC contractor, and right now we're working out a kind of a deal where the glass contractor with the contract currently we can use some of the money left over in their contract to pay the other contractors on the job site to complete the work. So we're just working through the notions on that. Both have preliminarily agreed to that, so just working through that right now.
So is it just labor, or do we still need to order more, windows and stuff? Do we have the windows in stock?
Yeah, so all the windows and the material for the most part is on the job site.
Okay,
There's some
perfect.
punch list items, stuff like some end caps and stuff that might be missing, you might have to order. But I've been in contact with the supplier and manufacturer as well. And just another reminder for everybody in the room, this project is fully bonded from a performance and payment standpoint, so the district is protected financially.
Perfect.
Yeah, but our biggest push right now is to get it done.
To get it done before the school year.
Absolutely, right? We don't want
Good.
to deal with this another summer. Moving on to the high school window replacement project. This is another project from last summer. We have 3 openings that were not finished. And that was mainly because existing mechanical HVAC units were using the windows as a vent. As part of the project that we're doing this summer, we're actually removing those units and replacing them. So those units are being removed right now as we speak. They're about 75-80% done with being done with the demo for this portion of this summer's work. So those windows will be replaced early August.
Are those windows affected by that glass contractor?
Totally different glass contractor. Great question though. Great question. Our next project, Dickinson East HVAC jobs. This is another full-blown mechanical project, a lot like what was done over at Holbrook, ECE, and then KMS last summer. Project is underway with an anticipated completion late August, just before the kids come back. We've got great progress going on. We've got all the mechanical equipment on the job site, which is great. We are also underway with the DT electrical power upgrade like the other buildings. That's going well very good as well. So been working with them very closely to get this stuff done. Next project is the high school HVAC job. So again, this is the 2 summer project. We are anticipating phase 1 completion again in August, just before the kids come back. Phase 1, so this summer's work, is going to consist of being complete with the following pieces of equipment: rooftop units 1 through 4, energy recovery units 3 and 4, new boiler placement and potential startup, and then placements of ERU 1 and 2, but not starting it up. Phase 2 will be completed following work, so for next summer, and will consist of all the classroom units. So basically, we're concentrating on all the larger units this summer. They have the most amount of duct work, the most amount of work, as far as labor hours. And these areas are mostly your common areas, so your all-purpose rooms, your gyms, your auditoriums, your cafeterias, your hallways.
So all those will be running and working.
For the most part, yes,
Okay.
that's what we're trying to do our best to put together, absolutely. So again, it's a 2-phase approach, but whatever we don't have running this summer, we have to have running at the end of next summer. So whatever work is pushed back from this year just has to get piled on to next year. So we basically put what I've just told you in our project manual. It is part of the contractor's contract for this summer, so we are pushing them as hard as we can to get it done. We're running into a lot of unforeseen conditions, which we can get into later, but we're working to kind of get around those. Also over at the high school, which is again a completely separate project, the high school restroom project. So demo is complete. We just wrapped it up earlier this week. Plumbing rework right now is underway with the tile work beginning in late July, so later this month.
Okay.
All the new plumbing fixtures are on the job site, which is great. And we began framing of the new walls.
Okay, and I heard tiles are not going all the way up. Why is that?
Really, typically, the new industry standard is you stop the tile at roughly, between 5 and 6 feet. Going all the way to the ceiling, it's not really industry standard anymore. A lot of that time, the tile, a lot of it's for, the reason why you even go that high, a lot of people leave it at about a 4-foot mark, it's called a chair rail, for cleaning, so that when you mop the floors, you don't splash the wall.
Right.
So it's more than above that mark. Next project, also at the high school, is the high school kitchen drains project. Again, we're fixing some broken, rusted out drains that just have been decaying over the years. Demo is to begin next week. We're just waiting for some parts to begin the work, but again, they should be here this week to start next week. Next project, also at the high school, is the elevator modernization. So again, we are reconstructing the interior of the elevator. We are bringing it back up to code, replacing the HVAC unit, and adding the newly updated code-required fire alarm. The HVAC unit is currently installed. The electrical has all been reworked. The fire alarm work is just beginning this week, and elevator contractor is working to begin their work starting next week sometime. It's probably important to note that currently the high school doesn't have power. It's running on a standby generator until DTE places our new transformer, which is, and we're anticipating that to be put and re-energized on the 22nd.
Okay.
So
we
it's-
did
it's-
end up
that's
getting a
not-
generator on site.
Well, temporary, yeah.
Yes, absolutely, and it's actually keeping power to all the lights and all the receptacles in the building. So it's been a seamless transfer. We've been able to keep your data and IT, so all your internet up and running, right? Because that's the hub that it all runs off of. So it's been working out great. We are hitting our dates with DTE, which in the past has been a huge difficulty.
Yeah.
We do bi-weekly meetings with them,
Good.
and so far things have been flawless. So we're hoping that it continues that way. We even went as far as installed 2 new poles, and they basically had to reroute the electrical to the high school all the way from the hospital. So that's how much power they had to kind of rework to get to the school in order to power the new HVAC equipment.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's been a process, but it's worked well. So,
Okay.
moving on to the Conant building remodel.
So when can we take a visit to the high school?
So I'm getting to that. And I can say that right now. Tomorrow, just so everybody knows, we are walking Dickinson East Elementary School and the high school with the principals and administrators. if you guys are interested, guys and girls, if you're interested, we'd be more than happy to set up a meeting where we can walk all of you through, so.
Tomorrow's
Again.
9 and 10.
Yeah, tomorrow's at 9 or 10, yeah. If
If
that
you-
doesn't work, I know it's pretty last minute, we can definitely reschedule for whatever time's best for you. Thanks.
High school starts at 9,
Yeah.
D is at 10.
Yeah, I mean, I would personally really enjoy that opportunity. I mean, the stuff that we're doing this summer is a massive amount of work. The buildings are tore up, and it's amazing how we can get it all done and put all back together before school comes back. But we've got a great plan, and you'll be able to see it if you come and take a look, so.
Hey, Joe, are you going to talk about, so you talked about the high school kitchen with a drain, are you
Yep.
going to talk about the pool?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, so
okay.
right now,
Sorry.
as part of, we took the tile contractor from the high school, or from the toilet room project, the restroom project, we walked them through the pool, took a look at some decaying, just broken tiles, missing tiles, mismatched tiles, and the architect Erzman came and worked with a couple tile manufacturers to come up with a close match. They're gonna put together a number, basically time and material, labor hours and material, and a square footage that they're suggesting that we kind of go through and spot replace to try to kind of bring some new life back to that pool.
I'm sorry, my one point is that the kitchen drain is affecting the pool because it's right over, so that's the ceiling in the
Yeah.
pool.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
right-
gonna be fixed. too.
absolutely. I mean, the whole ceiling, with the exception of directly above the bleachers in the pool, is tore out right now, so it's all gonna go back. Conan building remodel, occupied phase work, so the portion of the building that's occupied right now, I'll say this with the exception of IT, because IT did just move in there, is complete except for some floor patching where the doors were removed and reworked. And that's scheduled to be completed next week. We started a bunch of demo in the clinic area where the dialysis area, that was completed based on district direction. And then we recently received a proposal request from Erzman that has to do with a pretty large remodel on that side of the building. Based on the size and complexity of that remodel, we're planning on bidding that out publicly. Keep within the bidding threshold for public work. So that's something you guys can anticipate seeing in the next couple months. Moving on to the community center bleacher replacement. This is the most recently board awarded contract. Right now, their drawings from the bleacher manufacturer have been submitted to the state for code plan review. That's been a very lengthy process recently, 2 to 3 months. Once those come back approved, Intercal, who's the bleacher manufacturer and also the installer, will finalize their design and submit submittals, which we can then review and approve. These have a very lengthy lead time, several months. So right now, we're hoping to begin the putback of the bleachers sometime in the upcoming winter. So yeah, just to reiterate, walking around with the principals and administrators tomorrow at 9 and 10 at Dickinson East and High School. Would really appreciate the opportunity if we could put together a date to walk the board through these buildings as well.
I'll definitely reach out.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I know we've done it before with Holbrook, so
Yep.
it's a great opportunity as well. Any questions?
I'm good. You guys?
Is the auditorium not a part of those projects? Like
Oh, no.
So
that's separate?
there's work in the auditorium,
Okay.
right? There's HVAC work in the auditorium. One of the rooftop units feed it with heat and AC. So it's a new ventilation and all that kind of stuff. But the cosmetic upgrades and remodel of the auditorium are not part of this job.
Okay.
We haven't decided.
Thank you.
Thanks, Joe.
Thank you. All right, we move back to action items. Resolution number 4, approval of employment. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
I heard Ms. Hall, second by Mr. Obaid. Resolved that the Board of Education does hereby approve the employment of Jatera Davis Gregg, Special Education Compliance Manager, annual salary of $92,700, effective July 1st, 2025. Any questions, comments? All right, how do you vote, Ms. Hall?
Aye.
Ms. Watson?
Aye.
Mr. Elliott?
Aye.
Mr. Wade?
Aye.
Mr. Victor Ferris? Aye, I vote aye, so 6 ayes, 1 absent, motion carries. Resolution number 5, approval of positions. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
I heard Mr. Obey, second by Mr. Al-Gahaim. Resolved that the Board of Education does hereby approve the request to create 2 full-time occupational therapist positions for the Special Service Department, effective with the start of the 2025-2026 school year. Any questions? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, 6 ayes, 1 absent, motion carries. Resolution number 6, approval of the Michigan High School Athletic Association membership. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Ms. Hall, second by Mr. Obey. Resolved that the Board of Education does hereby adopt the Michigan High School Athletic Association membership resolution as outlined for the year August 1st, 2025 through July 31st, 2026. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, 6 ayes, 1 absent, motion carries. Resolution number 7, approval of purchase. Can I get a motion? Motion by Mr.
I'll
Ferris, second by Ms. Watson. Resolved that the Board of Education does hereby approve the purchase of 65 virtual licenses from Pearson Virtual Schools for the VLI program. Total cost not to exceed $220,935. Any questions? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, 6 ayes, 1 absent, motion carries. Resolution number 8, approval of purchase. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Vade,
Second.
second by Ms. Hall. Resolved that the Board of Education does hereby approve the purchase of the Character Strong curriculum for grades K to 12. Total amount not to exceed $32,777.60, funded through Title 4. Any discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? 6 ayes, 1 absent, motion carries. Resolution number 9, ratification of HFT peer educators contract. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
I'll second.
Motion by Mr. Al-Gahaim, second by Ms. Watson. Resolved that the Board of Education does hereby approve ratification of the contract between the HFT peer educators and the Hamtramck Board of Education as per the TA dated, today's date?
16.
Actually, that would be the date they voted, do you know?
Not off the top of my head, I didn't know I had to supply that today. I think it was June 16th.
June 16th.
June 16th? All right, 6/16/2025. All right, any discussions? All right, how do you vote, Mr. Al-Gahaim?
Aye.
Ms. Watson?
Aye.
Ms. Hall?
Aye.
Mr. Ferris?
Aye.
Mr. Obey?
Aye.
Aye, I vote aye, 6 ayes, 1 absent, motion carries. Resolution number 10, ratification of the HA contract. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Obey,
Motion.
second by Mr. Al-Gahaim. Resolved that the Board of Education does hereby approve ratification of the contract between the Hamtramck Administrative Association and the Hamtramck Board of Education as per the TA dated. Is that the same date?
No, that one was July 8th,
That sounds right. That's a Monday.
I think.
Monday, 7/8?
No, go with the Tuesday.
Sounds like the
Max
second.
is gonna find out for sure.
All right.
It was 8.
8th, okay, so 7/8/2025. Any discussions? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, 6 ayes, 1 absent, motion carries. Resolution 11, approval of non-bargaining salary schedule. Can I get a motion? Motion by Mr. Ferris, second by Mr. Al-Gahaim. Resolved that the Board of Education does hereby approve the salary schedule for non-bargaining employee effective July 1, 2025. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, 6 ayes, 1 absent, motion carries. Consent agenda, resolution number 12. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Obey,
Second.
second by Ms. Watson. Resolved that the Board of Education approves the following items under the consent agenda. We got approval of minutes and approval of employment. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, 6 ayes, 1 absent, motion carries. Audience participation, do we have any?
You have only one for Ms. Coral.
All right, this portion of the agenda is for citizens to address any questions or comments to the board. The board will listen, take comments and questions under advisement and not respond at this time. Presiding officer will refer questions to the superintendent for research and response. Person wishing to address the Board of Education must complete an audience participation form is submitted to the board president before the meeting starts. Form must be filled out completely to be accepted.
I did all that.
Yes.
Okay. Just real quick before I really start, in 2023, the VLI teachers were HPS teachers in the 76% pass rate. And this past year, they were Pearson teachers with a 72% pass rate. I just wanted to give some context there. Now, I'd like to do a little time travel with the board this evening. I'd like to start way back in 1997 when a certain school board vice president was a mere freshman at Ham High, and I was just starting my Hamtramck public school career. Ironically, the teachers in 1997 did not have a contract, exactly the same situation we find ourselves in today. That's not my point here today. In 1997, the district's HR department consisted of one administrative assistant who collected documents related to personnel issues. It remained a one-person operation until the fall of 2019, when the district hired its first HR director. In the summer of 2021, the district added an HR specialist to bring the department to 3 people. Just last fall, the district hired a consultant to help the HR department, at that point only an administrative assistant and an interim director, Ms. Gilgo, to help steady itself after a few very rocky years. When the district then the district hired 2 HR specialists in the winter, perhaps December. The district no longer needed the consultant, or so I thought. Since February 12th, the district has paid that very same consultant $15,770 as a contracted HR personnel. We have a fully staffed HR department of, consisting of a director, 2 specialists, and an administrative assistant for an organization that employs about 450 people. Why does the district need an additional person? To the tune of $15,770 as of June 11th. The check register is not on today's agenda, so I couldn't check to see if there was a check. This just passed them up. While the monetary amount may not be a lot, perhaps it could be used to plant some grass in front of Dickinson West. Just a thought.
All right, thank you. Is there any more business to conduct?